But now we have artificial intelligence, right? So, I mean, it's getting faster.
Yeah.
I love what AI is doing. I absolutely love it. I use ChatGPT all the time.
Do you really? Yeah, I haven't used it once yet.
Almost daily.
One of my buddies, we were over at a little get together last night, and he had a rendering put together of this development they're doing in the nickel plate district in Fishers. He had a rendering put together by AI, and he showed it to his higher ups, and they're like, "Did you have an architect do this? Did you put this together?" He's like, "No, this was AI." The AI did the rendering for them of the district they're building or the development they're building down there. It's insane.
There's so many opportunities right now in AI, job opportunities, or business
opportunities too. That's going to be the next big hitting thing.
It's huge. You can write a book about anything using ChatGPT, and then go into an Illustrator and put images to it, and then you can upload it to publish. I mean, you can do this in no time.
Yeah.
It can write. My buddy sent me a rap song yesterday about Dave Ramsey and Grant Cardone doing a rap off, all created by artificial intelligence.
Oh my gosh!
And it was amazing. Dave gave his spiel. It was like an Eminem, back in the day, like a rap off.
Man.
But it was just a ChatGPT AI, and you would think it was Dave talking to Grant Cardone.
Gosh!
And both of their views and why they're both good.
Was it utilizing their voices too?
No, it wasn't. No, I read it.
Oh,
so
okay.
It wasn't audible.
Yeah.
But I'm using ChatGPT for product descriptions.
Really?
Every social media post.
Yeah.
YouTube video descriptions. For instance, if I was a podcaster, I would be able to do all of my back-end search engine optimization really well with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And
hear that, Braden?
You can market it. I mean, so I could go to ChatGPT and say, as a content writer,
sure,
write me 10 social media posts for KidZone party rentals about these products. Use a different product every day.
Yeah.
And make it short using hashtags and emojis.
Wow.
And it'll give me 10 days in a row. Okay. And then I can take the post, I could copy it, put it on Facebook or whatever media outlet I'm using, or all of them, put a picture to it, and then select the day for it to post and time, right, on Facebook. You can select your days. So now I have 10. So I can do basically a whole month of social media within 5 or 10 minutes for the whole month, okay? So look how much time I just saved. I don't have to think about what I'm writing. I just have to ask the question about what I want. And then I have good images.
Wow.
And then I just need to have enough time to get the post and put them on social media. So I could do, on Monday I could post for the next, 2 weeks and not have to worry about it.
Gosh, so you've been using that for all your social media posts?
I've been using it since November 30th, the day it came out.
Really?
For everything. I've probably written with ChatGPT 100 different things.
That's insane.
I saw non-compete, product description.
Really?
A buy-sell agreement.
Yeah.
Operations agreement. I wrote an operations manual. I wrote a business plan or two already.
Wow.
And they're all templates, right? A lot of them, like a business plan is, it may not be exactly what I want, but over the years I bought so many business plan templates online, or so I just use this and put in everything that I need.
That's insane.
The other day I was doing some stock market selections and getting information about stock market.
Yeah. How accurate do you think that is?
I think it's very accurate.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's very accurate. It's so there's a new AI software that you can, instead of using Robinhood or TD Ameritrade, or you can use this.
Okay.
It's AI. I think I can't think of the name of it, but people are putting their money in there and letting AI do the stock trading for them.
Wow.
That's crazy. I think that's where we're going. I mean, everything is artificial intelligence.
How many people do you think are going to lose jobs though because of artificial intelligence?
Well, I think that's why a lot of people hate it.
Yeah.
because, I was talking to a young lady at an event that I was at, and she does marketing, and we were talking about AI. I said, you should start using AI. And she goes, well, I don't want to use AI. It's my creativity. It's my outlet as a marketer. I said, well, you don't need to be creative anymore. You need to be efficient and fast.
Well, and that's what it's going to come down to is who's more efficient, who's faster.
So my son the other night was in bed. I'm like, what are you looking at, son? He's like, I'm looking at ways to make money using ChatGPT.
Gosh.
He's 14. So he's grown up in a business family. And he's looking for ways, like businesses, what he can do. Like he can write a marketing post for a company in every language. You can write it in English and then say, now write it in Spanish. Yeah. So if I have a client in Mexico, it could be in Spanish. So I could become a social media marketing person for multiple companies.
With no background or experience, but have probably pretty good posts off the bat.
I can have amazing posts, and I know how to ask questions. So that's what it comes down to. You got to be able to ask the right robot question. What you want, and a lot of people can't ask questions. They have no idea how to ask questions. And if you can ask questions, like I tell everybody, that I'm around, and these kids that work for me, if you can look people in the eyes, ask great questions, shake hands. Be more type A. You're going to kick everybody's butt in this society because there's very few people who can even ask questions.
Well, nobody wants to talk to anybody anymore.
No.
Nobody.
Talk to AI. I mean, let them get your answers, because if you can ask it great questions, you get so much content. So I was going to Google to get like a lot of my information when I was doing research for certain things. But with Google, you have a lot of sponsored content. You got maps now, Google My Business. There's so much stuff. And then you get a lot of different opinions too, and everybody's selling something.
Right.
So I find going to ChatGPT is a great way to get the information that I need.
Man, I gotta play around with that.
Yeah, you're not gonna get local stuff like best pizza place around, or you're not gonna find stuff like that. Doesn't do local searches if you're looking for something, but it gives you great information and research. I know.
Well, it, from what I understand, it creates filler. Right, and if you need filler for a social media post or something like that, then that's a great way to put it together.
That's right. I mean, a YouTube video or shorts or reels, you can write as a content creator, write a description for the Legacy podcast with Nate Suddarth and Will. Yeah. And then it'll be boom. It'll give you something that it would have taken you an hour and a half to even think about.
Right.
And then you would have had to write it, and then it would have to be, you'd check your grammar, your spelling, your how articulate you are, and then you change it. And then 2 or 3 hours later, you might be done with a description for a YouTube video. That's way too much time as an entrepreneur. You don't have that time.
Right.
So this tool is literally saving me hours a week. That's allowing me to do other things to make money.
So, going back a little bit to our conversation about getting away from technology, is this the technology that allows us to start getting away from technology? Because, we were just talking about, society needs to slow down and learn to be present where they're at with who they're with, and be able to, be personable and have conversations again, which a lot of people don't want to slow down and do, It's amazing to me when I ask how many, a lot of people get coffee, just to sit down, meet new people. No, I can't do that, unless they're like us and they're type A people, and all day. But so in a society where we need to start slowing down, we're now creating this AI that now you got to keep up, you got to be efficient with. But could it be that tool that, because I think everything with technology, pharma, all that, it all has a purpose. It all can serve a purpose, I should say. The problem is then it gets utilized for, bad. It gets utilized to now it's a money making machine, and so how can we be greedy and just take everything we can from it? So in AI situation, is it something that could help us as a society slow down? Like now we can shortchange the work that would take 40 hours a week and do it in 10 because AI can do it for us, or does it make it so that we have to speed up even more?
Maybe. I mean, it's definitely allowing me to focus my attention on other things. I'm not really slowing down because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm able to be more productive in my strengths.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need a full-time marketing person.
Right.
I probably at one point or still could have someone 10, 12 hours a week. Well, now I don't need that person.
Right. Because now you don't need the person who has the creativity to write that content.
Because AI is so much smarter. You know, AI just almost scored a perfect score on SAT.
Really?
ChatGPT did.
Gosh.
I mean, if ChatGPT was around when I was in high school, I'd gone in Harvard.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would, like, I teach my kids to use it. Like, they need to be using ChatGPT because it's not about learning the information. It's about how you get to the information to be successful.
But then are we not exercising our brains enough?
Well, I think you have to still exercise your brains because you're still reading the content. You're still learning the content. You know, I learn what I'm writing. I don't need to learn how to write it anymore.
It just shortchanges the research process, maybe.
Exactly, which we've already done. I mean, with Google.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know that, I mean, people aren't as smart as they used to be. I mean, libraries are still open, but who goes to the library?
But there is useless, I don't want to say useless, but knowledge that you don't need to retain in your brain anymore, right? Like, I don't need to be perfect at math because I have this thing with me all the time.
That's right.
Right? I can pick that up and type in my calculator and boom, we're good to go. You know, so I I've noticed since I've been getting older, my math skills have been declining, you know. There's some that I coach in the 5:30 a.m. class would say I've never been good at math, but you know, because I can't figure out what times I need to put on the clock. But you know,
well, that happens.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, handwriting is really bad. And there's some young people that work for us. Their handwriting's horrible.
Oh wow!
I mean,
because they're so used to typing.
Yeah, it's got awful. But what do you expect? They don't get reps.
Right.
They don't get the practice because they're using iPads.
Yeah.
Or keyboards or laptops or whatever.
I think we need to pull these iPads out of the schools. I think that kids are going to have access to them. And they're going to, like, my kids know how to operate these things faster than I do already. And I grew up with the stuff, you know, but I feel like we need to pull them out of the education system. Go back to reading books. Go back to, you know, because it's not good to read on a blue light screen or a blue lit screen. It's damaging to the eyes, you know. So, but it also, you know, then they get distracted so easily. Lindsay, we had Lindsay Pattison on the podcast. She's a member here as well, and they're opening up a school called Legacy Christian Academy in New Hampshire this year. And she had read a paper or, you know, research on kids nowadays are on average in front of screens 8 hours a day because, you know, like, this is sitting right here, right? Like, your phone's in front of you. They have the iPads. You know, there's always a TV on somewhere. And due to that, the attention span has decreased like 3 or 4 times what it used to be. And it's all because we just constantly have screens going on, you know? And that's not a good thing. I mean, we wonder why people have anxiety and ADD and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I think that is a big part of it. You know,
without a doubt.
Because, I mean, did people in the 50s have ADD? I don't know.
I think they did.
Just wasn't diagnosed yet, you know?
No, I know several older guys that had to have had that.
Yeah. Well, maybe, and you know what? There's Steve Weatherford. He was a punter kicker for the Patriots. Boo, Patriots. But, you know, he was talking about how that ADD has been a superpower for him.
Oh, I bet.
You know, and his kids, he's like, I refuse to put them on a, you know, on medication because it's a superpower. You just got to learn how to control it. You got to be physically active because that calms your mind. And then you got to put it towards good, you know. But I feel like most entrepreneurs I know have some form of ADD.
No, without a doubt.
You know?
I mean, there are times I can only have so much capacity in my brain. I've never been diagnosed with it.
Sure.
I'm pretty hyper-focused when I want to be.
When it's something you care about.
Man, I am super hyper-focused. Like, my work day is, I know what's happening almost every 15 minutes. Like, boom, I'm dialed in. I'm OCD with that. My work, like, what I need to get done in a day, I know what I need. But if it's something I don't care about or I'm hearing other people talk sometimes, my mind wanders off. You know, probably because I'm not really into
what they're saying
in the conversation. Hopefully people don't feel that way with us talking because that could happen, right? And click, they're gone. Yeah. But I think you're right. Entrepreneurs are movers and shakers. They're doing
They constantly got to be doing something.
Constantly got to be competing. Constantly got to be building, learning. Yeah. And so really, like with AI, I think it's taught me more faster.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's taught me more faster.
Do you feel like you're retaining that knowledge that you're learning from?
I am so much. Yeah, so much. But usually, I usually use it as a tool to do something for me. So I don't really need to learn something. I have it do something for me. Yeah, and then I can edit it to what I need it to say exactly without putting all the thought into it.
Right. Right.
I know what I want it to say. I know what I want to create, but I don't have the time to do it, and that's what it's doing.
Yeah. Or, you know, sometimes too, like I'm not creative when it comes to like putting content up because I'm just very like straight to the point, you know, and, you know, I see some of these content posts that these, you know, marketing people make, and it's like this super long page on Instagram or, you know, something of like, you know, whatever they're talking about. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, how long did it take them to come up with that? Some of these people, they come up with it pretty quick.
And it's way too long for me to write.
Yeah, but then it's like, where do you get the ideas for this stuff too is the other thing. Like, where do you get the ideas for all this content? Me, I'm just like, I got too much going on to think about it. Or let alone to like sit there and take something I could say in 5 words and put it into 5 paragraphs. That's right. I don't have time, nor do I really care to do that. So that's where I think that filler could be created. You don't have to pay somebody to do that anymore.
Right. I think content creators can now open up their book of business because they can do so. If they're smart, they can do so much more with AI than they've ever been able to do on their own time. Yeah. So now they can take on more clients, and they can be better. Yeah. They can be more efficient. Yeah. And they can be more profitable.
So it could do a lot for entrepreneurship.
It's going to do amazing things for entrepreneurship. Absolutely amazing things. There's going to be so many ways for people to start marketing companies right now, worldwide.
What were some of the other jobs that it told your son would be good to make money?
Well, he's just started the research. Okay, but it's not going to tell him how to make money, right? Exactly, or what business to do. But he's trying to figure out like what questions he can have in ChatGPT that would build a business, like a marketing company, or how to. I think one might have been a shirt, like a T-shirt company. How to launch it. It'll give you a business plan. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A full business plan. Okay, so if you need help with writing a business plan, and instead of going and spending a bunch of money to get someone online or a book to build it off of, a template, then it'll just write it for you, and then you can put in what you want. Yeah. So I could start a business plan development, a consulting company.
Yeah, there you go.
And I could do business plans for someone
just off that.
That's crazy. Just one of many ideas. Yeah.